Hey guys, today we're talking about 5 shoes that I believe every minimalist should own. And before we get into this, I do just want to talk quickly about a few characteristics of the shoes that I do feel like every minimalist should own, because it's not only about the types of shoes, but it's also about the kind of shoes. So what kind of shoes should minimalists be looking for? Well, I think the first thing that we need to look for is quality, because obviously if you own less shoes, you're going to be wearing them a lot more often. So having pieces that are quality, that are going to last through multiple wears, is really important. Another thing that I think is really important is finding neutrally colored shoes, because they're going to match with anything in your closet. If you get something that's a really vibrant color, it's just not going to have as much versatility as something that's in a neutral, whether it's a black, a tan, a brown. Something like that is going to be able to be worn a lot more than something that's brightly colored. Another really important thing that you're going to want to consider is comfort, because if you're using less shoes more often, you're really going to notice a lot more whether or not the shoes you are wearing are comfortable. A lot of times designers will make shoes with the idea of them being beautiful but not necessarily comfortable, but as a minimalist who's owning a few pairs of shoes, you're really going to want to concentrate on, wow, are these shoes something that I can wear for hours on end? Are these something that I can walk a mile in? Those are things you want to consider when purchasing or deciding to keep a pair of shoes. And then the last thing I think is important to consider is really just the function of it. Does this suit the purpose that I need? Does this suit my lifestyle? So think about your life and really evaluate whether or not the shoes that you have or are choosing to keep or are wanting to buy are really going to be functional to your life. And with that being said, those are just kind of a couple precursors of whether you're decluttering your shoes and trying to decide what to keep, or whether you're thinking of bringing new shoes into your life and deciding what would be most useful. Those are just some tips to keep in mind. With that being said though, let's go ahead and talk about what the 5 essential minimalist shoes are. And let's go ahead and start off by talking about probably the most essential shoe in my opinion, and that's a good pair of tennis shoes. Now, having a good pair of running shoes, trainers, sneakers, whatever you want to call them, I think is super essential just because they are so useful for whenever you're doing any kind of outdoor activity. Whether you're going to the gym, going on a hike, even just going on a walk for several miles, having a shoe that has arch support, that has really good grips, and that's going to be comfortable, I think is really, really important. So yeah, we probably all knew this one already, but I really do think that having a good pair of sneakers is going to be just such a useful shoe to have in your, wardrobe, shoe collection, whatever you will. Let's talk about number 2, and that is a sandal. During the summer months when it gets warm outside, none of us want to be wearing closed-toed shoes that often, if we can avoid it, or at least I know I don't personally. But whether you're going to the beach, just wanting to go out, dressing up for a wedding, having a good pair of sandals during the summer is a really good pair of shoes to have. I really like these Birkenstocks because they are the epitome of comfort, although not the epitome of an attractive looking sandal on your foot, but they're so comfortable. They can, literally be worn for a miles and miles long walk, which is fantastic. Some people have the notion that they need to have multiple different sandals for different occasions. So a pair of flip-flops for the beach or the pool, a pair of, casual sandals for going out to run errands, and a pair of dressy sandals for going to weddings. To be honest, personally, I think that you only need one pair, so long as it's a versatile, neutral pair that can be worn in multiple different settings, then I think you're really good to go. That's part of the reason why I love these Birkenstocks, is because I've worn them to the beach, I've worn them on walks outdoors. I haven't worn them to a wedding, but I've worn them to church, so they're just a really good pair of shoes that you can wear in a lot of different settings. And trying to find a sandal like that that's going to fit multiple different situations is really helpful. Let's talk about number 3. This is a huge one for me. I think that having a good pair of neutral flats is a really good pair of shoes to have. This is the in-between of you're not wearing heels, you're not necessarily wearing, sneakers or sandals. You want something that looks a little bit nice, but is good for everyday wear. And that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love these black flats. They're something that you can wear in any season of the year. And whether you go for something like this, a black ballet flat, or you go for a loafer or a pair of Converse, whatever you want to go for, having something that can just be worn in your everyday life, I think is so, so valuable. Consider what your lifestyle is like and what kind of pair of neutrally colored flats would serve you best. Number 4 is a good pair of boots. And I think that boots are the perfect 3-season shoe, and they're really the reason why I love them and I consider them an essential is they're the perfect boot when there's any kind of weather outside. When it's raining, snowing, sleeting, slushing, you really want to just have your ankles covered. You want something that's going to, make sure you don't step in puddles or anything like that. And that's why I think that a pair of boots is really just such a great piece to have in your wardrobe. Not only that, but they're also one of the most versatile pieces just in terms of being able to dress up and dress down. I think that having a good pair of boots that you can slip on is just one of those pieces that you get so much wear out of, whether that's in the fall, the winter, the spring, and honestly, if you're wearing it with the right thing, even the summer. Okay, and lastly, let's go ahead and talk about heels. I know not everyone is a heels person out there. Personally, I wouldn't even consider myself a heels person, but I do think that having a good pair of heels is a good piece to have in your wardrobe. If you're adamantly against them, forget this one. But if you're kind of, on the line with them, I think they're a good piece to have. I don't wear them all the time personally, but if I'm trying to dress up, whether I'm going to a wedding, a job interview, what I really like about heels is they're a little bit of a confidence booster. When you wear heels, just naturally, you walk taller, you walk straighter, and you just have a little bit of confidence infused into you. And so I really like that. I think that having a good pair of neutral heels, especially one that fits your skin tone, is a really good just heel to have, because if you pick something that fits with your skin tone over putting it with any kind of other neutral, it's going to match with whatever you wear, so you don't need more than one pair of heels. Honestly, I would just try to pick something that matches your skin tone and a walkable heel height, and if you do that, you'll have the perfect shoe, whether you're going to a job interview, weddings, working in your office, anything like that. There are a lot of different situations when having a heel is the right shoe to have, and so I really think that having a good pair of neutral heels is, for me at least, an essential in my wardrobe. Okay guys, well those are the 5 shoes that I think that every minimalist girl should own. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it served to maybe inspire you about the types of categories of shoes that are just really helpful to have when you're constructing a minimalist wardrobe. I hope this gave you some kind of inspiration and that you enjoyed it. Go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what shoes you find essential in your wardrobe, and maybe let me know, if there were any that you find essential that I didn't include here. Well guys, that is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, I would absolutely love it if you would consider subscribing today. My name is Ashlynne and I make videos twice a week about minimalism and intentional living. And so yeah, I would love to get to know you a little bit better. Anyways guys, that is it for today. I love you all so much and I'll see you in the next video.